Hey guys, Thomas Sicily Jr. here, aka Mustached Tom, here to view the movie Restoration. In this movie, we see a young lady and a husband. The lady is a doctor, just like the previous movie I watched, and the husband is a construction worker at the house that they are building. And they soon discover this little notebook, and after discovering it, they both get these possessive demon shadow blah 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 jump scares coming at them. They both believe in it, which is a bit refreshing, as the typical more cliche is to have it be a family dynamic of man, woman, and child, and it's usually the woman going through it and the husband doesn't believe it. So this was a nice change of pace, at least in that respect. This movie does focus a bit more on the lore of the actual possession going on, or the ghost, or whatever you want to call it. Um, so that's interesting. Um, I've never heard the phrase "someone got disappeared." That line is said about 3 or 4 times in this movie by the narration done by this little girl who had something terrible happen to her, and they're searching for clues as to what could have happened. And in the meantime, they constantly get visited by their two neighbors who seem to have their best interest at the beginning. And as the movie progresses, they get a bit more questionable as the movie progresses. And I think the conclusion is that these two were these two kids that did something really bad to the little girl. See, the little girl had burned the husband. The husband ended up in the hospital. We had the neighbor guy looking after him and bringing him to the hospital. And when the wife returned, things went really, really bad, really, really quick. They had this entire setup at the end of the movie where they had the wife there captured, and they had this mask that they had in the past, and they're gonna perform this possession ritual, I guess. And the husband comes in and he tries to fight them off, and then the wife tries to fight them off. They actually get the guy to die, but the other woman, the woman neighbor, uh, ends up stabbing one of the either I think it was the woman, the nurse, um, and then she possesses her, and the movie ends with the guy, the husband, being dead, the neighbor guy being dead, presumably, the wife, the neighbor wife, um, who I thought was dead because she got like stabbed in the head. So I don't know how she came back. Demon logic, I guess. So uh, now the possession has taken over her, the nurse lady, and she has either two children or one children. It wasn't really clear. Um, she made it sound like she had two children, so I'm gonna assume it was two. And that's pretty much how the movie ends. So it doesn't have too many jump scares, and the characters are okay. They weren't annoying to the point of them, wanting me to have them killed or anything. And the ending was a bit interesting at the very least. So uh, it's an interesting movie. The lore could have been better handled, especially at the second half. The way they presented it was with all these filters, and they could have just had it be a flashback, a proper flashback. So there's that. I'm gonna give this movie a 6 out of 10. I actually think thought it was okay, um, but it still isn't quite what I'm hoping for to see in a horror movie. I'm still looking for that horror movie that really, really gets me. Still looking for it. Still always journeying for it. And with that said, if you want to check this movie out, go on ahead. I'm Thomas Cecily Jr., aka Mustached Tom, and I'll see you guys next time.